Well, welcome to this episode of ISV Talks. I'm Carol Livingston. I'm very excited. I got to interview Jon Rivers, who is on the board of Directions North America, and he was also this year's content chairman for Directions North America 2022. And I asked Jon why partners and ISVs and really anyone working in the channel should attend this event. And his response was, well, why shouldn't they? There's great content, in-person learning. You get to hear directly from Microsoft on their direction, and the partner networking is huge. So next up is Jon. So welcome to this ISV Talks session. We have today on our episode Jon Rivers from the Marketing Monarchs, but also he's one of the co-leaders and sponsors of the Directions North America 2022 event that's coming up here in early April. So welcome, Jon, to ISV Talks.
Thanks for inviting me.
So maybe do a little quick introduction of yourself and your involvement with Directions North America.
Sure, I'll try to keep it as quick as I can. So I'm, as you mentioned, I'm president of Marketing Monarchs, a digital marketing agency that actually helps Microsoft technology partners. And we have a lot of clients who are in the Dynamics CRM ERP space. I'm also the COO of another marketing agency called Marketeering that actually sort of fits in a similar area. We just work with slightly different clientele, but again, quite a lot of those clients are in the same field of ERP CRM. I'm also the owner of the Partner Index, a portal for ISVs and solution providers who are trying to reach out to ERP CRM prospective clients. Likewise, even partners use this as well. What is my role on Directions? I'm actually in charge. I sit on the board as the content chair. Been doing that for a number of years now, and that's my role this year.
Okay, great. And how many people are involved in the committee that puts this together every year?
So my content committee is about, oh God, what have I got now? Because I went and added more people, keep adding people to it because it was big. We probably had 6 to 8 people on the committee at different times throughout the content selection process. If you then look at the size of our board, it's probably, in comparison, it's a big chunk of people. So our board for Directions is actually pretty small. We're all volunteers, so I want to get that out. We do this when we're not working our day jobs, so it takes a lot of effort to put this event on.
Yes, I know. I know another committee member also as helping with the content. So yes,
right.
Well,
yeah.
So what are the dates and what's the location, just as a reminder?
So the dates are April 3rd to the 6th. We're in sunny Orlando, Florida, at the Hyatt Cypress. So if anyone hasn't booked, get yourself booked in. I think the hotels are even actually sold out now. So, but there's plenty of hotels nearby.
Sure, great location. And this is the first in-person event in a couple of years, right? I mean,
yep, for the last couple of years. So it's nearly 3 years since we were in person last. So there's a lot of pent-up demand to get back in person from the community.
Yeah, probably a lot of excitement.
Yeah, that's excitement in a lot of different ways. I mean, just the content alone, people getting back to that networking. I mean, if it's Zoom, if it's Teams or whatever, it's not the same as being in person when it comes to networking. Even sessions are not the same. I mean, we try our best in a virtual world. It just can't be beaten by what happens in a virtual, in-person.
Yeah, absolutely. Who usually attends the Directions North America conference?
So it's a big mix. It's just so if anyone doesn't know, it is a partner event, and just partners technically are allowed. We do not have any end users come in. So what that really means is that we get a good mix from the exec teams, from these partners and ISVs all the way down to the consultants, the developers, the marketing, the sales people. There's also what I class partners, I think of ISVs as well. We also get a humongous group of Microsoft coming over. We get a lot of the development team coming from Europe, but we also then get a lot of the US-based and the Canadian-based people as well, and of course execs as well.
Interesting. Well, what's the expected attendance this year?
We were over 800 already at the beginning of this week.
Oh, okay.
As of yesterday.
Wow.
The numbers are changing very rapidly. We've probably over doubled our attendance just alone in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people are kind of wait and see, like what's the situation with, travel and all that, right?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it, seeing what how COVID's going to affect. I think things have calmed down a bit, so it's making it easier for people to think about coming to an event like this.
In this timing of year, a lot of people are doing spring break vacation, so maybe they can get to Orlando, have a little vacation tagged on, so that might be a good thing.
Yep, there's some people that will tag on extra time.
How about, like you mentioned, ISVs are attending, and in terms of sponsorships, and how does that seem to be coming in as far as number of sponsors and attendance from ISVs?
So this year, our sponsorship was sold out very rapidly. I mean, we still, even to this moment, we're still getting ISVs who would like to come in. We just don't have any more room. If you look at our sponsor page, we're close to 70 sponsors. I think this year was, from what I understand from our sponsorship team, is the most sponsors that we've ever had. So at the end of the day, it's been a challenge trying to find the spaces for them, but we found space. But I mean, if we could, we would keep on adding. But
is there a theme that we're going to be hearing about at the conference for SMB partners?
So we always don't know 100% what Microsoft is going to share, because that's a little bit kept under wraps. And even if I did, I can't share it because at the end of the day, it's there's certain things I'm under NDA to keep internally at the moment. But I think from a direction standpoint is historically, most people have thought of Directions as probably the NAV BC go-to event for partners, whereas this year we've started to incorporate other products into the equation when it comes to content. We actually added a dedicated track for CE, primarily focused more on the CRM side of it. Okay, I'm probably going to get beaten up and say that's not the name today, but a lot of us still know it as CRM.
Start somewhere.
So we have a lot of that. We also have a lot of Power Platform track content coming in as well. We actually have a few GP sessions as well, and a few SL sessions. So so basically, I mean, we're over 130 plus sessions, and I believe the last I looked at the count, because it keeps changing literally daily, we've got over 60 sessions being delivered by Microsoft, but the rest of the content gets delivered by the community. I think the other piece I have excitement as well is that we've actually got historically, we've always had just the Dynamics NAV team or BC team come in. We've actually got some representatives coming in from the Power Platform to also do some sessions as well.
Oh, awesome.
So that's the first.
So so expanded topics, that's pretty exciting, and maybe some sneak peek announcements from Microsoft. So that's something to look forward to.
I'm sure there will be some things coming out. They always put on a good keynote. We actually have 2 keynotes with them, so typically they're pretty good. They're normally filled with a lot of content.
Yeah, I saw some really good topics. One I was kind of following was on the e-commerce front. Shopify now is partnering with Microsoft to create an integration with Business Central, which is pretty exciting on the e-commerce front, right? To have.
And I believe that they've actually, if I remember rightly, they're actually going to be a sponsor at the event as well. So,
awesome.
It's a big pull. So we typically, so any of those big relationships, we typically pull in those, try and get those sponsors to come in as well.
Yeah, so good. It's a good event to go to if you want to kind of hear what's kind of new or emerging, like this partnership with Shopify. Yeah, and get to hear more about the platform from the development team. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, even if I sit on the board, even if I took that hat off, I think it's an event that if you're in that ecosystem, it's the event that you have to be at. It's
Yeah.
not all about, and again, I don't just look at it as being, yes, we've got some amazing sessions, and it was challenging this year because we had,
Yeah.
on the sessions outside of Microsoft, we had like nearly 200 submitted. So it was really challenging to actually cut that down into the ones we could take. If we had our chance, we probably would have taken a lot more. We just didn't have any rooms.
Yeah.
So I think content's key, as we mentioned, the keynotes, knowing the direction of Microsoft. And one of the key reasons we keep it just to partners is because certain things are kept under NDA and stuff like that. But I think the other piece that I sort of like was probably alluding a little bit is it's networking, right? There's a lot of networking that goes on, which then turns into business between people. And that's not just business between ISPs and partners. It could be partners and partners. So there's a lot of business that happens outside of the other pieces, should we say.
Yeah, no, definitely the networking for in-person events is always beneficial, right? A lot of people say that's well worth it. Yeah.
I think that's the piece we've been missing for the last few years. How can you replicate walking down the hallway from your hotel room? You come down the elevator, you walk down the hallway, and you're walking towards the conference, and you bump into someone, right? And that just triggers something else. How can you replicate that? You just can't replicate it. I don't care what you do. I've been to so many virtual events, tried different approaches. You just can't replicate what can happen like those types of things. Just the mingling, it's not the same.
Yeah, no, that's always good. And I was kind of taking a look through again on the agenda, and you've got great topics around products and what's new and ISVs and all of that. But also I noticed there's a lot of topics around running your partnership, your business, how to generate more revenue, and how to, there was a lot of, I think, really good content for the partner side, right? For partners to use.
Yeah, so there's, and I think at the end of the day, I wouldn't just limit that. And again, I always when I use the word partner, I always include ISVs, but let's break it out, right? Even those sessions that may seem that they're partner focused, a lot of them also, ISVs should be there as well, because then it could be more of learning how the partner is pulled together and stuff like that. So there's a lot of opportunity. I mean, there's technically 7 tracks this year. So you have new to BC, technical stroke development, consulting, CE, and some other tracks in there as well. We also have the Power Platform and integration. We have sales and marketing. We have a lot of great sessions in our leadership. So if leadership is not there, they need to be at the event as well. We also have hands-on labs as well. So there's quite a few of those as well in the mix as well. We actually have Women in Tech sort of luncheon, or Women in Dynamics. All during the day, it's mainly sessions and ISV sessions. So they have their, depending on your level of sponsorship, you also get an opportunity to have a session. That's technically what happens through the day. The higher sponsors will have their booths through the hallway, so therefore they can attract the necessary people. But we also then hold our expo hours in the evening. There's a lot of networking that goes through the expo, but what really drives a lot of networking, and I can't emphasize this enough, is our partner celebration. That drives a lot of networking because you're in that a little bit more casual environment. You're not having to, yes, you're sort of working, but you're also having a little bit of fun as well. So everyone's a little bit easier to probably actually get to connect with each other. So yeah.
Is there any special entertainment?
So we'll be heading off. So we'll be taking everyone to Universal. And so we have some things set up there, basically for food and entertainment afterwards. So, yep. So it's going to be a good event. So
just to kind of, wrap up, what are sort of the main reasons that partners and ISVs would attend this year's Directions?
If you're serious about this industry, this ecosystem, with the amount of content that's there to help continue your education, the opportunity to network with other maybe execs, right? And other like-minded people to learn from them. One of the things that Directions has always been good at is people sharing. It doesn't matter when we get into that. Yeah, there's rivalry, but at the end of the day, people share. I think that's the key, because at the end of the day, if we can make this ecosystem better, everyone's up for that. So I think those are a couple of things. And then on top of that, Microsoft, you get to listen to the execs, you get to listen to the dev team, you get to listen to salespeople, and maybe get some info on pricing. I could be talking to you probably for the next couple of days on why, but just look at that agenda, and you can see, and you should be able to start to see why you should be there. And I suppose we should put on that end is that networking. Again,
Right.
I know, and I'm just going to just say generally in person, it is key. It's a huge element of what happens at Directions is the networking.
Well, thank you so much, Jon, for joining this episode and kind of doing it last minute. I appreciate you taking the time, and I know you're a busy guy, so I really appreciate that. And hopefully we can get this message out to partners and ISVs who are still thinking about it. It sounds like you should go, pull that trigger, go. It sounds like it's going to be a great event, so definitely will.
I believe it will be. I'm not believe, I know it will be. That's probably
the thing. It will be amazing.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And I appreciate you reaching out and inviting me to talk.
Yeah, of course. All right. So, well, thank you for joining today, everyone. And have a good trip if you're making it to Orlando. So talk to you later. Bye, Jon.
Thanks. Look forward to seeing everyone. Bye.